What is going on, everybody? We are back once again with another edition of Wrestling Republic's Off the Air. Immediately following NXT, we are super back on X, Twitter, whatever you'd like to call it. We're back on all the platforms. We've got the sweetest crew in the game, and we're breaking down NXT tonight. I'm fired up about it, to say the very least. First and foremost, I'm going to send this one out for his second show of the day, so especially get your twos up. Out to the DMV. That's not the Department of Motor Vehicles, though. That is a geographic area around the DC, Maryland, Virginia area. To my good friend, king of the battle rap scene, Shotty, what's good?
You already know the vibes, man. Fresh off of a battle this past weekend. Salute to my twin Slumdog. We put on a great show. Showtime Battle Arena. Who battle? We freaking battle. A salute to the bros over there. I do want to shout out to two of my boys who was also at the event. Crazy dope wrestling podcasters slash battle rappers. My bro Osiris at Reefer Rumbles, as well as my boy Sonny, who's part of FTMR. I can't say what it means because we can't curse on here. But salute to those two. And yeah, man, we here. The vibes is good. And yeah, I'm Mr. Tuesday as they call me nowadays. So let's get it.
Tuesday night delight in the building, but it cannot be a Tuesday without just moving. Just move the needle just a skosh around the map here to Louisville, Kentucky, to a guy that I always love to toss it to because he's got the best intro in the whole game. Driz, what's good? Tell us.
Good morning, afternoon, and evening. It's the guy you should believe in. It is your boy Dryzzy, aka Plug Funny, the wrestling plug. You don't know what you need to watch. Let me know. I got you.
Honestly, Driz, we could do the rest of the show on just intros. It gets every time. I get goosebumps every single time.
Shad's rubbing off. Shad's rubbing off for me. These things come to me at the last minute, and it's like I gotta act on them as I'm going.
Y'all ain't know
Like
the vibes, bro.
plug funny,
Plug funny,
the
man. I like
plug,
that.
the wrestling plug.
I'm ready to roll. We've got, by the way, we already have early comments. We got Tink2254 with, hey, my brothers. What's up, Tink22? Good to see you as always. And then we've got Kale underscore FRM215 with, yes, sir. What's up? What is up? Thank you so much for tuning in as always. But let's talk about a match that I don't think we necessarily saw coming, advertised or not. At least not over the last few months covering this product. And that is the Rascals reunited, and it feels so good.
You know what that reminds me of? You ever watch the episode where Uncle Phil and Aunt Viv are like about to get a divorce, and they do the little like concert at the place, and they do "Stop in the Name
Name
of
of
Love."
love.
They do like a whole medley. Will Carlton and Ashley. So funny. I might have to rewatch it after the show is done. Yeah, they do.
Oh man,
Greatest
that dude.
sitcom of all time, in my opinion, is The Fresh Prince. That
Uh,
I could watch that like at any hour of the day. But yeah, anyways, wrestling. Talk about it.
Truly does not get old. I'm so with you. Honestly, it was a spot on reference. We do have the Rascals. They're back. We've got Axiom, the artist formerly known as A Kid from NXT UK, absolute stud, and Nathan Frazier, tag team champs,
You think
teaming with,
you think the A stands for adolescent kid?
honest to goodness, when I used to watch the NXT UK stuff when he was A Kid, all I thought was like, you can't give a wrestler a worse name. It's a kid. Like, yes, adolescent. That'd
He's
be
just a kid.
adolescent would be a compliment.
I want y'all to remember we had the Viking Experience was a tag
What
was
it,
the name.
the word axiom is like a legit. What does that mean again?
It means like math.
Axiom?
It means like they're adding and subtracting and stuff like
Oh,
that.
But I
you're
thought that's what
right. Okay,
virtuoso
yeah, yeah, yeah.
was.
That's what
I
his whole
thought
gimmick was. That's right.
I thought that's what virtuoso was though.
That's what I thought too. But Axiom, I mean, it doesn't mean anything. Honestly, I think they just kind of took the guy's the Brazilian Jiu Jitsu black belt in real life. That's the
Yeah.
craziest part. It's like
Okay,
he's like maybe
this is the definition of axiom: a hypothetical suboptronic particle pulsated to account for the rarity and processes of that breaks changes partly symmetry. It's very light, electrically neutral, and pseudo. Yeah, a bunch of big words I can't say.
That boy, that boy really thought hard.
scientific
It's
to
either
say
him or
the
somebody in
least.
like the creative team is like, well, I have a theory. This is what we should name him.
Yeah, I may have made a mistake on math. This is science.
He might as well just say like Eureka when he hits like a swanton or something like
Dude,
that.
Like,
Drizzy,
Eureka!
I don't know that I could have read that many words with PHs in them.
I made it all the way. I'm
Consecutive.
looking at the definition. I made it all the way to the end, and that word just, yeah, I couldn't do
You're
it.
like, nah, that's it.
Crazy, bruh.
Like,
No,
I
dude,
have used up all my big words meter for the day. I can't fit anymore. I can't.
you're like, I'm in the same boat. I was like trying to follow, and I'm like, I get it, but not okay.
I mean, it
There's a
is a
lot of
noun.
depth here.
It is a noun. So, I mean, I guess he's in the right ballpark. You're like, you know what? You should be X.
You
Axiom.
should be
Oh,
Give
asking.
it.
okay.
Okay. So, by the way, let's Javon Evans, whose name is we totally know Javon Evans,
His name
the
means
man,
bouncy.
the myth, already an
Bouncy.
early legend. He is bouncy as all bouncy, teaming with bouncy of all bouncy.
This
I have no
match,
complaints.
this match was not contested in a ring. It was contested over the ring. It looked like an old. It really put me in the mindset of an old school WCW cruiserweight match. There was high flying. There was mat wrestling. It was exciting from start to finish. It's for it to be the main event. It is a great way to end your show, and it even ended with great sportsmanship. Everybody shook each other's hands. They hugged each other. It was just a good competitive bout. You gotta love it. You have to love it.
I- I'm in agreement. And it's funny because we've had a lot of
Yeah.
complaints over the years over here at WR about multi person matches and too much flipping and flying. I don't care. This one made sense and it worked. And
And
every single moment of it was gripping.
Oh
And I don't know
yeah.
if you guys know, it wasn't clunky.
No,
Nah, nah,
Everything it just slid.
nah. It was fluid as you could set it out to be, and I mean, look, man. I think all six guys are tremendous wrestlers. Like I can't put a knock on any of them. I'm a big Trey Miguel fan. He's like one of the guys on TNA that I think really like in comparison to like Josh Alexander put into a situation where his teammates left at one point and it really benefited him and kind of helped him out and he's incredible in the ring. I like Zach Wentz, formerly known as Nash Carter on NXT. I think he's a great wrestler as well. I think him and Wesley hopefully getting an opportunity to get the tag team belts, that'd be cool. I think it'd be cool to have a TNA wrestler maybe have a belt in a way where it does make sense with Nash Carter and Wesley. But I, and then you got the other side, man. You got Nate Frage. Nate Frage is a guy, man. He's really that dude when it comes to being so quick and having a crazy in-ring ability. You already spoke about Axiom and Javon Evans. Like I think everything was a recipe to just make this match so fun, so electric, so fast paced, and they did their thing. And I like the fact that the Rascals got the win. I think MSK versus Axiom and Nathan Frazier is going to be an incredible match if we set that up for one of these. Um, what is the pay per view next week called again?
The Great
The
American
Great
Bash.
American Bash.
Great
Yeah,
American Bash.
I think that would be a phenomenal tag team match. And like I said, I think it'd be a good opportunity to give MSK the titles again.
The Bash is just a TV special, correct?
It's a 2 week TV
It's a
special, right?
TV
Yeah.
So they're gonna
special, yes.
so we're gonna have 2 series of jam packed shows, which us as a team are very excited about because we get to break it down.
Of course.
But I mean the Rascal. The thing is this, right? I feel like I think y'all might agree with me. I think this was like the thing we were waiting for when we're talking about other than like a Jordan Grace and a Joe Hendry with this TNA NXT partnership because we really, you know, I don't. It's unfortunate how the situation happened for Wesley, but like I think Wesley deserves everything great in the world. I don't think there's a better guy in the world that deserves goodness, and I think him getting an opportunity to work with his brothers again has been something that's made me happy to see personally.
Mm,
100%. And having we've talked about a lot about like the Forbidden Door type stuff, and the like. I think this is the storyline where they've gotten it absolutely correct. Who should be
Yeah,
crossing over from TNA? The
yeah.
Rascals. It works. This is what we wanted the most. This is what we've been asking for the most.
yeah,
Right? Like it's like it to me, that part of it and re-elevating Wesley, because what Wesley's actually now proven, and it's starting to click with me, that I've figured out, and hear me out on this, guys. So since his North American title run and his injuries and whatnot, right? He's kind of proven he can rise to the occasion,
mhm,
get beat in that moment, and then recoup. And he
yo,
Mhm.
continues to do it in a
yeah,
way that not many others on NXT can say they can.
yeah.
So the moment we pull the trigger on him having to be not having to being called up to the main roster, the
He's got a little bit of that Sami Zayn like underdog babyface
Yeah.
persona to him, right? Like he's a jack of all trades. He can play any role you put him in, and that's what makes him so great. And he's so like I always say, I will run through several brick walls for Sami Zayn because he's just that much of a guy you want to root for in regards to as an underground underdog. And it's the same with Wesley. Like he's just the ultimate. He's the cardiac kid. He's the ultimate underdog. He's battled through so much adversity in storylines, and even in real life, right? Like through injuries and all that. Where how could you not get behind somebody like that? Like that's the
Hmm.
epitome. It's like the Brian Danielson, like formula, right? Like that's just a guy you love to root for. Like
Yep.
there's guys who are cut from that cloth, and I think Wesley is definitely cut from that cloth.
I agree. Yeah, he's embodied babyface in a way that's really hard to do nowadays. To your point, right? Like, and I complain on every show that we have over here about baby faces, right? Like, if any, you both know me as well as anybody on this platform. Nobody complains about more baby faces than I, right?
Right.
Whether it's Cena or Cody, it just bugs me because I corny baby
But
faces I can't
hmm
stand. Wesley is not that, and that's the brilliance. He's the underdog to your point that you really want to root for.
yeah, it's got to be organic. Like if it's like authenticity is the most important thing in anything, bro. Like you tend to like we always talk to like when we do the Dynamite review shows. The reason you and I like, you know, are so big into being fans of Hangman Adam Page is because he's so authentic and he's so true to himself and he makes it feel like you know, you're getting to know him on the surface level as a person.
Hmm.
Wesley is kind of like the same exact thing. He's, unapologetically being himself, and he's giving you a lot about his personality. You see the vignettes with him and his wife, like
Hmm.
during tough moments. Like those are the type of things where, no knock on Cody, no knock on John Cena, but it is a lot of rah rah, you know, cheesy, you
You feel
know,
it more. You feel it more with them.
yeah, yeah,
Where there's a machine behind them pushing you to know, feel what John Cena and Cody are giving you. This it translates without the machine. And when it translates without the machine, it's a whole lot stronger because it's more genuine. It's coming from an actual emotion inside of you. So you're not having to rely on that. So that's all it is.
Yeah, I agree 100%. Yeah, it's the organic part of it, like we mentioned, is to
Mhm.
me the key to that operation there. And Wesley is one of the very few names that I would point out. I someday would like to, because I'm so critical of baby faces, I feel like more than heels when it comes to the pro wrestling game, come out with my lists of actual baby faces that I would root for, that I want to root for, because he's right up at the top of that list. That's something
Yeah.
I would love to have a discussion about someday.
Eight, and this is off topic of him. Javon Evans gives me a lot of like like young Shelton Benjamin. By the way, like
Times 1,000, right?
I thought about it just off of the athleticism, stature of size. Like he's not a small guy. He's a big dude. And man, I really hope he pans out and becomes like the best wrestling superstar ever, because that's a dude I'm genuinely excited to see watch his career for
I,
years to
I
come,
mean,
because he's
dude,
got so much time. He's such a blank canvas of a superstar. Like it's gonna be dope to see. He has become one of my favorite guys in professional wrestling
It
in
just looks like he's
totality.
having so much fun. Like when he did the entrance with Frazier and Axiom, you see this, you see all the dark, you see this big ass smile. I'm like, oh, he is so happy. Like and
Yeah,
it's
like
scary
he
to think
loves
about.
this.
Amongst the all-star team in this six-man match, he managed to stand out as by far
yeah.
the
I say
youngest
him. I
competitor
say
in the
him and
match.
Wesley. Him and Wesley both did their thing.
Of course.
Mhm.
But Wesley, the expectations are already kind of like the precedent's set.
No, for
Not that
sure.
it's not for
Agreed.
Javon, but just at his age, he managed to still stand out amongst a cast of characters we already know.
Yep.
Yeah,
And he
true.
continues to do it every time they give him the opportunity. That to me is what blows me away about Javon. It's like you give him the shot and he's
You,
just going to take it and run
you
with
love
it and, and,
you
and
love to
make it
see it.
work. And I
Mhm.
respect it. Okay. This is a rivalry that I thought might be dead. I thought, I don't know what they're doing with either guy. My only question now, my only question now is what in the world is it with the top zipper vest that Josh Briggs is wearing? Because
It was hideous.
everything else about this was good. Brooks Jensen looks as good as he's looked on TV, but why?
Yeah,
I don't understand why the zipper starts right right up here. Why doesn't it's a
Joint was
vest and like
hideous, bro.
it was a it was a dual zipper. You can you can pull it both ways and like it
Need a
zips.
biker. I need a biker to explain that to me.
Yeah, I
like
think most bikers would leave it open.
It's like this whole it's like a country phenomenon. Like country music has become like relevant again. So maybe he's trying to get to it. I think he's trying to be like what's to do Morgan Wallen or like Luke Combs or somebody like that. But um, I ain't here to talk about him. I'm here to talk about my favorite man in this match, and that's the loose Buchanan himself, man, Brooks Jensen. I think this character is really, really working, and I don't care what anybody says. Like he's playing it to a T. He's really, finding his footing with the role. He ain't took a shower in like 900 days. He ain't shaved his beard. His hair looking crazy, and he's just being angry and deranged, and it's really, really working. And I think them rehashing into a match tonight makes the most sense. It's a different side of the feud. It's just an unhinged version of Brooks Jensen that we have come to see come to fruition. And then we also add the element to Sean Spears. I think Sean Spears being that crook, that cult like guy, and kind of leaning towards Brooks Jensen is really gonna work. I like the pairing between these guys. I think Sean Spears is doing great work in NXT. A lot of people give the champ Ethan Page a lot of credit from an AEW guy who jumped forward. Sean Spears is doing more work that is under the radar because he is a veteran. he is a guy who's been in the WWE before, right? He's got a lot of experience, and he wants to help build the youth and build the future. And I think this is a way for him to do that, but still be prevalent in his role on TV. I think you could really put a lot of steam into Brooks Jensen and make him a viable competitor for a main title, right? Potentially for the NXT title, potentially for the North American title. There's a lot of potential with him because the character work is just really good, and that's the avenue that WWE is about. If you can flourish with a character, that's gonna work. And he's not bad in the ring. I think he's a solid big guy. So I'm excited for it. Josh Briggs, I think this is just kind of where we're at with him. Um, I think they may run this feud back. Maybe he'll have his comeuppance. But I mean, if I had to invest stock, I'm putting it on my man, the Loose Buchanan, because he just it works, bro. It
I
really
agree
freaking
with
works.
you literally everywhere. My only thing is if he's going to be the true Lewis Buchanan, he's got to ditch Spears.
Tactical
Not
vest.
right away,
At
And he
some
gotta,
point, he will.
but
and he
down the
gotta,
road.
and he gotta get a tactical vest. You gotta get a tactical
Yes,
vest.
He gotta
tactical
shoot him.
vest.
You gotta get a tactical vest. That's what Bull Buchanan used to wear. He used to have it.
Like Bull
The vest.
Buchanan, the
Yeah,
Walk around
original
with the big
vest
boss
guy.
man.
yeah, okay, yeah. Oh
Roman
God.
stole it. Roman stole it from Bull.
And the big boss man. You see?
Yes, and
Learn
the
your
big
wrestling
boss
history.
man.
Learn
Yes,
your wrestling history. Plug funny hits again.
I love it, Driz.
Oh, but
Okay, no,
but
but seriously, I mean, like, this has been the most exciting thing I think we've seen out of either one.
both of them have great matches with each other. I just
Yeah,
think
Yeah,
that's the
chemistry.
connection that they have. The other matches they've had, Josh Briggs maybe had a couple of other ones that we really liked, but for the most part, they're average. Brooks Jensen, we've only really liked the matches that he has with Josh Briggs, and I think it's just because they're connected so much. But this, I, I say this, and I know that Instagram is going to destroy me. I feel like this is the NXT version. This version of NXT right now. This is their Gargano champion. This is gonna be their main event
ooh,
feud that they carry until it's time for them to go to the main roster. Briggs and Jensen are going to fight at every little bit that they can, and they're gonna tell this big, long, arcing story, and it's gonna involve Spears. You're gonna have those moments where you're gonna have other supporting cast members. So right when it started, we had Fallon Henley. Now we and Kiana James. Now we have Sean Spears sticking his chair in it. You're going to get this big long story, and I really believe that those two, as long as they keep the chemistry up, and right now it looks like they can only have matches with each other. Maybe they can sit there and work something out where they'll learn from it, and Brooks can finally have like go have a great match with Trick Wilson with Trick Williams.
Williams.
We
Yes,
can sit there and have Briggs have a great match with Sean Spears because Sean Spears is capable of it. And I think that's why they kind of paired Sean Spears in this is to add a veteran who can kind of guide this where it was going. Where Ciampa and Gargano were in this long enough, they understand how to tell a story and where to take it. This you got a veteran to kind of help you drive the car a little bit and keep it on the road. So
I love that. We've got Rosario over here in the comments, got our eyes on us. Appreciated
You with
as
the Illuminati,
always.
bro?
We're blowing Bobby's mind. Chad K mentioned ditch Spears and get heel Fallon back. Uh, maybe. I don't hate it, but I don't necessarily know that that's the immediate answer.
Fallon gotta find her own footing herself.
she got to find
Like,
her own toxic.
And then we got
yeah,
good friend of the show, as always, Bobby Petito with I'm learning more wrestling history from you guys. You're the best, Bobby. Thank you for
Salute, B.
tuning in, as always. Of course, that's what we're here for.
Mm.
Let me get this next one right. So Ashante the Adonis is back,
Yes,
Yep.
sir.
and I like it. I like it a
Flyest,
lot.
flyest guy in the room, as I call him, bro. My
We
man got
had
all the ring.
a hit row reference over there in the performance center for the first time in a long
Since
time,
2.0 started.
Yeah.
quite some time.
Hit row.
Hit
That was my
row.
that was my song, bro.
It was sick. I loved it. too. A lot of people referenced there. Makes sense. What is unexpected here is we have a match with Ora Mensa, member of Meta 4,
Hmm.
who is also, by the end of this show, the number one contender.
Yes, sir.
The number one contender for Ethan Page's world title that he's weirdly, unofficially pinned him for twice. Drizzy, Ora Mensa, and Ashante Adonis. It is good to see Ashante back. We've got our number one contender here. Is there any chance he pulls the upset at the bash?
I do not believe that. I believe this is a big setup. These TV specials, they tend to not make big moves like that unless it's a big deal. I think the big deal in this isn't Ora Mensa pulling the upset. I think the big deal is maybe we have a return. Maybe we have the returning Noam Dar who never got his title match. And that definitely is a PLE worthy event. So I think this is just the precursor to Ethan Page versus Noam Dar down the line at the next. No, that's the main roster. I was about to say Bad Blood. No, that's the main roster.
It's the
Whatever the
bash.
next
That's the
NXT
bash.
PLE is,
Now we got bad
they're
blood.
doing just the bash.
No, it's the bash,
Yeah,
and then there's going to be the PLE,
two,
but I don't think
no,
the PLE is till
there's
September.
This one
two
said the
bashes.
PLE.
We bashing 2 times
Is it?
in a
Oh,
row.
Is it? What is it called? Actually, I'm
is there?
really bad.
The next one is I don't know.
It's like
I know Halloween
NXT.
Havoc is in October,
If
but
a commenter can really help us
It
out on
may,
that, we
it
should
may.
know
I
that.
think it may be Halloween Havoc because I know they're selling tickets for it already. So it
I think
may
it's
be
Halloween
Halloween
Havoc
Havoc.
in
That
October,
seems
which
October.
I think I'm gonna go to because it's in Hershey, Pennsylvania, which is only two and a
I
half
don't know.
hours away from me.
We might need to look into that, but because Halloween Havoc's normally a TV special too, but it's all right.
Oh,
I think
oh,
No
in
Mercy,
Oh,
the
no mercy,
Bobby
clutch.
dick
Bobby
diggity,
Clutch,
In
Bobby
diggity
the
Clutch.
dog.
clutch.
So
Bobby B.
I do believe that'll be the main event of No Mercy. Ethan Page versus Noam Dar. This is just, I think, the return to get him in there. Ora Mensa though has proven that he is worthy of a title of some sort, singles. He should be getting a what do we call those? A North American title match. Now, because of who holds it, we know he might not win it right there, but it definitely Ora Mensa has put on such good matches lately. He's definitely gonna be a highlight reel for Obafemi. And it's also gonna be a
Yes.
mouthful saying Oro versus Oba in a match for a belt.
It's quite a bit of O's and A's there.
It's a lot of vowels. A lot of
it's, a, it's a lot of vowels to say the very least. I am totally with you. But
and
yeah,
And as we talk about Asante Adonis, I'm hoping that they're going to also add them into the main event scene too, because it is the weakest part of NXT at the moment, and hopefully this will fill that up a little bit more and beef it up a little bit more.
and I love also Cedric alongside Adonis too.
Hmm.
And I like the character. We kind of talked about it during. Cedric's playing a different character than we've ever seen Cedric play.
Yeah, because he's
Ever.
very calm, and I'm not
Yeah,
used to that. He's like anytime he's the energy guy.
Yes.
He was the future. Now when he was prime, he was the hothead. Now it's a very
it's
low
matured.
energy. It's that
I'm
he's grown.
super curious to see what he can do with it because I do think it will take a couple weeks. I think he's doing great with it so far, but a few weeks to really find his stride. But playing the more calculated, doing something completely different than he's ever
I,
done,
I
I think we
absolutely,
might see the best Cedric we've ever seen.
I absolutely do love Ashanti the Adonis's character though. I like the cool, calm, collective, playboy type of personality. The ladies' man, we saw him after the match being hurt, walking around with two lovely ladies backstage. I like it. I think this is something that's going to be good for him. It's going to show more of a personality, more of a character That's a guy who never got an opportunity or a just due to actually develop and create a character and create a superstar amongst himself because he was the third fiddle in Hit Row. They got released. They came back. They didn't have much for him. This is a real repackage, but it's a repackage where it works because he never got an opportunity to, get a kickstart and have something for him. So I like it. I think it's good. And like you said, we'll talk about Cedric right after this.
Let's talk
But I,
about Cedric right
yeah,
now, right? To
You
your
good
point.
now?
I think their personalities are good for each other. I like the fact that we had that we had that promo video in SmackDown, right, where it was those two, and it was kind of like, the guy who's more cool, calm, collective, cool guy, be able to like, he's doing more. He's like, it's like when your friend that is a bachelor, right, and he's just having fun, messing around, hanging with the ladies, going out, and then you got the other guy who's more well renowned, Cedric is married, he's got like a family and stuff. He's like, yo, you gotta slow it down a little bit. It's kind of the guy who's at more of a pace where you got to look at stuff in reality more to living in the moment. And I do like that dynamic between those two. And I'm happy that they're going to get to do that in NXT,
Yeah.
especially because we always complain about the tag division, right? They
I
can be a staple in the tag team
I
division
be
out the
complaining
gate.
about I be complaining about Cedric because he is too good of a talent to not be on TV.
Yeah. And
I
him and, and
lose,
him and Trick.
I lose sleep over that shit.
Yeah, no, him and Trick really had a damn good match tonight. Like they like that's the thing. Like people, this is the first time I saw this man wrestle a freaking match in a minute, bruh. Like he ain't have like a singles match like in like a legitimate. Like I
Great.
ain't talking about no dumb like main event match or some dark
No,
match that nobody's watching or no speed
no.
match and none of that BS. I'm talking about an actual full throttle match that was over like 10
I
15
was
minutes long against a former champion, and they did their damn thing. And like
Okay.
this dude is
Yo, yo,
really
yo.
freaking good. Like y'all don't see what he did in the cruiserweight classics. He had a
Hear me
match with
out.
Ali at Mania. Like the dude is really him at wrestling. He, we've been complaining about this whole Lashley stuff and whatnot. I know we don't acknowledge the dirt sheets, but like during the whole Hurt Business, him and Shelton were working as a tag team.
Wow.
Cedric Alexander is that dude.
Okay, yo, hear me out. Hear me out on this. I saw this character and I started thinking about it. And I'm like, okay, wait. So he's calmed down. He's chilled out. He's more calculated. He's changing his attitude. He's gonna have to adjust to that. And I thought he did a good job of staying within the confines of what he's portraying right this second. But what's the coolest thing we've ever seen Cedric Alexander do? And it's that dang lung blower on the indies.
I know, and I wanted. I was ready for it tonight. I just knew he was
And the
gonna hit it.
minute he busts that thing out with this character, he he brings us down this low to send it that high.
Just throw a body in
That
the air.
is storytelling 101. And that's all I could think. That's like it was just running through my head. Like, that's what they gotta do.
Before
He's
the end of
gonna
this
just
year. Before
hit
the end of
those
this year,
knees. Yes.
he has to do
It's
that on Javon Evans to see how high he bounces.
just it'd be
Because
like a
it's never
trampoline.
the move looks amazing, but the sell is what really
Yeah,
makes it.
that's a
Like when
fact.
whenever you see like somebody like
Crown
Dolph
elbow.
Ziggler do it, and no, who was it? It was Ricochet. Ricochet did it and bounced over the ring. I It sounds like I'm exaggerating it. No,
He
Ricochet
broke
was in
out.
the air.
That's a DQ in the 70s. You can't even go over the top rope.
Like it's it is one of those moves that looks good, looks great every time you see it. So, and I'm hoping they're treating it as a big like. Remember how when AJ Styles first came in, he didn't do a Styles Clash right away. It's something that you build for. So when you see that move, you know it's a special moment. And I'm hoping they're
Hmm.
treating Cedric like he's a special moment because he's a special talent that we're
He
getting an
is.
impromptu version of Sunday Night Spotlight right now. But he is a special talent that needs to be
Nah, for
showcased.
sure,
I
for
agree.
sure.
Needs to be highlighted, needs to be spotlighted without question. And I'm just happy that he's in a spot now where he's got an opportunity to really do something cool.
Mhm.
For the first time, I feel like in a long time since the Hurt Business.
He's on a brand that actually is gonna care about him.
Mhm.
Yes,
That's the reality of it, man. And then
I mean,
and y'all, if people could take it how they want to take it. Like NXT, like they're more they care about, like, they don't care about who you are. Like they treat minority wrestlers like they're actual, like, the stars that they are, compared to how they be doing booking on the main roster, and even in like other wrestling places too. Like Shawn Michaels just let the stars run the shit. Like that's kind
Mhm.
of what it is, and that's why I'm happy for him that he's gonna get an opportunity to do that. And it's unfortunate that he never got an opportunity after they messed up the Hurt Business. But that's another
yeah,
that's a topic upon itself, man. Like no Booker is perfect at the end of the day, and WWE knows they're
not
not
even
perfect because
T.
they completely threw a dominant faction in the garbage for no reason. And that they out of all three out of all four of those guys, I felt bad for Cedric the most because Lashley's established, MVP is a legend, and Shelton's a legend. Cedric was still young in his career where he could have really benefited and enhanced after whatever the Hurt Business may do. Once you threw that away, you kind of just lost so many years of a guy in his prime career where he wasn't able to do stuff, and that type of stuff is mad unfortunate, bro. Like that ain't cool, man. Like he's a better wrestler than a lot of guys in the
Thousand,
WWE.
1000%, a supreme talent that has been long overlooked. I could not agree with you more when it comes to that. Like, yeah, it's not fair, and if we can get anything great out of this to salvage it, it's gonna make the story even better, right? And that's what makes wrestling great in the first place, too.
That's the
So
hope for sure.
yeah, so I'm on the 100% the same page. But let's talk about a tag match that was wild. Because Sol Ruka, I can't get enough of. And then Carmen who, Shoddy?
Petrovich.
Exactly. Carmen and Sol tagging against Jakara Jackson. And is Lash not a legend now? What in the
Shit.
world? How does Drizzy, how is anyone in the world to take that finisher safely?
I have no idea. I just felt like all the air leave my body the moment she landed on Carmen. This is I've been trying to tell y'all for so long. Lash Legend is booked like a bully in the ring, and I absolutely love it. Not she doesn't get pushed around. She doesn't. I don't think that you really even notice how big she is until you see her with the other women. She towers over them. She's probably as tall as maybe Charlotte Flair, maybe. Not 100% sure, but
She's like
she
approaching Megan. She's probably like a
she I
couple
know
inches
she was
shorter than Megan.
I'm aware she was a WNBA basketball star, so she's up there.
Yeah, no, she's tall.
Well, Lash Legend is a future women's champion. Jakara Jackson is a future women's champion. Metaphor in general, this tag team has been the original tag team of this new version of NXT. Ever since Metaphor had was born, this is the team that has been, I guess, that we can build the NXT women's tag division around. And right now, I feel like they're probably the most established tag team in WWE. Like I second most. I'll give the K's, Candice and Caden,
Yes,
their dudes.
yes. The
But
car
af- after them, it's Slash and Jakara.
it is.
And I don't see how you can look any further to not give them those belts. They have moves, they team well, they understand the chemistry of everything. They look good together. Aesthetically, that is a beautiful team, and all they're missing are belts around their waist. And I think it's just overdue for Lash to have a belt in general. She's been one of the bigger stars in the women's division. So, and they're introducing new titles for those other women. She should be one of your next challengers for the women's title in NXT.
I could not agree more. I do, especially about the tag team and being established part. Like they're the best thing going. Metaphor is. We
Like,
talked earlier about Gnome Dar's
Mhm.
return.
hmm
The whole unit is over. The team is over. Everybody has gotten over within that construct.
hmm
And you have a star in Lash Legend that can stand in the middle as a powerhouse women's wrestler, which
hmm
is like finding a unicorn.
it's one of the
Yeah.
few things missing in that division, and she fills the void. So you don't have to have two or three. You know how the main roster has to have uh I about to call it Dewdrop, Piper Niven and
Yes.
Nia Jax.
And
You don't need both of them. You got
not, to
and
to to that point, right? Lash is like the fact that you mentioned she's an athlete. I mean, bro, she's a former WNBA basketball player. For those who may not like watch basketball, she is one of one when it comes to athletes. There is not that many people that are athletically gifted to be a professional basketball player. So the fact that she comes from that cloth with that size, that stature, and that athleticism, like and she's still so raw, but not in a, I'm not saying that in a disrespectful way, but more so in a sense where like she hasn't even reached her ceiling yet, and she's improved immensely from when she started to now. The fact that like you can keep developing her, it's gonna be scary how good she's gonna get when she reaches that potential because you talk about a Nia Jax, you talk about a Dewdrop. She's way more agile and athletic than both of those women, and it's not even close at all. Like she's athletically able to do stuff that those two women can't do because she
Yeah.
is bigger, faster, stronger than both of them, and she's just a physical beast. And you add that with a Jakara Jackson because I love tag teams that it's like a basketball. It's like pick and roll, point guard, center, right?
Yep.
It's like Stockton Malone
Talking
with her and
Malone.
Jakara Jackson,
hmm
yeah. And
Lob
Jakara
City.
Jackson is another person. And to Drizzy's point, which I thought you absolutely hit it nail on the coffin with that is that fact that they are a actual tag team. They
Yes.
look like a damn tag team. They are a part of a freaking faction. That we don't need these damn makeshift tag teams. You got an
like
actual unit that came up together, just like
Yup.
Casey and Caden, right? I love them. I love those
it's
two. I think they are the best women's tag team, maybe of all time. I'm not even joking around off of what they do with the move sets. It's just kind of like
Fair.
that. They're an incredible team together. I know there's not a lot of women's tag teams to compare that to on
but
the
they're
WWE side.
So I was like,
but
whoa.
the way they treat it like there's
Cannibal
not
Oaks.
enough.
I'm kidding.
They treat
No,
it like there's not a lot of
No.
women's
I mean,
tag
just
teams.
we could talk about that forever. Like,
No, but
but you can.
they
Go
act
ahead.
like there's not a lot of women's tag teams. There's a bunch. Like
there's
you
not
have
great
Cadence and
ones.
Candice. You have Isla and I call
Yeah, the
we call
champs, the
I
Alba and
want to call
Katie
them
Ray,
I don't know what they're calling them now because I know they're not
While
calling
you're
them
in the
the
eyes, we have the Iconics.
unholy unit.
unholy union.
The Iconics, whenever they decide they want to wrestle again. I mean, there's
Nah, but Kaden and Katana as a tag, like actual moveset wise, they the goats. I don't care what
they're
nobody says.
they're
Their tag
creative.
team, they're so like. I know they're not. This isn't the topic about them. Them two are so underrated and underappreciated as wrestlers. They really be picking stuff move wise that are crazy, dog. Like they're
How
so good, and they. This is
how
another
have
thing
we
with.
not gotten? So I'm getting ready to book. I'm getting ready. Let me put my hat on. Let me get the pencil out. I'm getting ready to book. Lash and Jakar win the women's tag titles to take them on NXT.
Hmm.
Then after Joe Hendry's concert, the system comes over. And who are the Knockouts Tag Champions right now? Masha Slamovich
Masha
and
Slamovich,
Alicia Edwards.
Alicia
Yep.
Edwards.
Yep.
I ain't
Okay.
gonna lie to you. You know what I was thought you was gonna say?
What? Lu-
Jakara and Lash versus Jade and Bianca.
I don't think myself personally can take that.
Yeah,
I
you need a
will
few years
explode.
of build.
I will explode.
That'd be crazy. Imagine Jade and Lash
It's the
facing
first
off in the
time I
ring,
think
bro.
Drizzy's
And I
ever looked at a dream match scenario and been like, too
Drizzy would
soon.
melt, bro.
like, man, I'm not gonna make it.
Nah, but honestly, I'm not
Holding.
mad. I'm not mad at. I wouldn't be mad at a Jakara and Lash tag team title reign because I think that could help them boost and benefit them. I don't want Jade and Bianca to get the titles no more because I just want them to do individual stuff. That's me personally.
I want them to beat each other up
I
next.
selfishly want Bianca to just get the title and have another big reign again because I think Bianca Belair is the goat.
I love both though. I want Jade to do well too. I mean,
I want her to do well too.
I don't think
Give me
we've named a talent that I'm rooting against like in this conversation when
okay,
it comes to
fine.
this one
My
though. It's
bad.
like
I'm
they're
sure I
all
could find
Indy
one.
good.
I'm sure I could
Indy
find one.
Hartwell. There you go.
I like
Okay,
her.
yeah.
I like the
I'm
way.
just messing around. I'm messing around. Fine, man. I don't know.
No, I'm with you. I'm just like it's a
Ronda
conundrum.
Rousey.
Ah, bingo,
Okay,
got me.
now we're
You got me.
talking. Now
You
we're
got me.
talking. Okay.
Moments of the night, though, man. Let's get to it.
Will not forget this week. Let's do it. Moments of the night. Who's ready to go first? Because honestly, I didn't pick mine yet.
We none of us picked it, so we can all pick from a
Oh,
hat.
I
Okay,
got,
good.
I
Drizzy, you
got
go
mine.
first.
Raise your hand
All right,
first.
Drizzy,
Buzzer,
go
you
first.
ready, Driz? Perfect.
all right. My moment of the night is again because I love her so much and I praise her on a weekly basis. Lash Legend and Jakara Jackson, the metaphor. I don't know how you've heard me go into depth about this and how they've went about building all four members, and they've done a really good job with doing Lash and Jakara separately. And Jakara was a little bit less on the separate side because of injury, but they're still giving her time now with the stuff with Ashanti. If we get this tag, this team, and they do it on a more consistent basis, I don't see why this team can't go against Bianca and Jade and it be treated as a serious test because I feel like if they were to do this now, it would be treated as a 5 minute jobber match. And I don't think that Lash and Jakar deserve that, nor are they jobbers in any way, form, or fashion. They could truly give a competitive bout against Bianca and Jade. And on top of that, they will all have me folded like a bad plate of food at your aunt that can't cook's house.
I love it, Drizzy.
Laundry,
I'm as
fold
excited
chair,
about the match as you are. I want you
tap
to
tap.
know we'll be in it together. We'll be in it
Like
together.
I am folding. I am
I
folding.
got
Yeah,
Bianca
like a
Belair
beach
is right over.
chair
I
on
got
a
Bianca
cold
Belair
day.
chilling on my. I got a little
Folded.
plushie of her chilling on my counter over there. Bianca can do no wrong to anybody in the world. There's a reason why Montez Ford
Go
tweets God
Vols.
is good every morning, and it's not because he's religious, because he wakes next to Bianca Belair every
I
morning,
don't
bro.
even like the University of Tennessee, but when I saw her in person, I was inclined to say go
I
Vols.
said, why didn't I go there?
I was
Like,
just like,
why
go
didn't I go there?
Vols. Dang it.
Yeah, Pat Summit, bro. Respect to her, bro.
No, she's a legend. She's
She's a legend.
first ballot Hall of Famer. No debate about it.
Hmm.
It's
Yeah,
really not close. Already, by the way, she could retire tomorrow and would be.
yeah,
And
sure.
she's got a lot of script left to write.
Yep.
That's the scariest part about Bianca Belair.
Oh no,
um,
I truthfully think she is going
yeah,
to. If they okay, if she is booked as great as she's booked prior to what's happening now, she's gonna be the greatest women's wrestler of all time,
she'll be the goat.
easily.
I
She's
agree.
like Pat. She's the Patrick Mahomes of women's wrestling.
I like it, shoddy. I like it a lot.
I said, you, sir, are cooking.
You
You, sir,
know,
Stand
are
you
like
know,
two
she's the
strings.
goat. You just don't have the technicalities to do it. She's gonna be the goat. There's nothing. I swear to you, bro. Like, and we'll get to our moments tonight. There's literally nothing wrong with Bianca Belair's uh like repertoire as a wrestler. She's an incredible baby face. She's over. She can talk. She looks like 1,000,000,000,000 gajillion dollars. Athletically amazing. She can wrestle. She's got multiple classics. She's got multiple titles. She's got multiple moments. She is art in the vacuum of when she has come to the main roster. she's accomplished more than any other women's wrestler has. She's the GOAT. Just like Patrick Mahomes. Same thing.
Even to add to your point, she's might be gnarlier than Patrick Mahomes. Because remember, Mahomes was pretty dang good at tech and a pretty dang good athlete. She's a
Hmm.
multi-time All-American.
Yeah.
You can't say that about people that came through freestyle wrestling.
And,
Women's
and
freestyle wrestling, there's no All-Americans. She's a multi-time All-American in track. She's the best athlete on the roster in the SEC,
that
in the
ES
fastest conference in the nation.
yeah, that EST stuff ain't just no
No,
slogan,
that
bro.
is
She
not a
Mm,
joke. She is the best athlete in women's
it's
wrestling
facts.
by resume.
It's a fact, bro. It's
mm.
a hundred
It's
percent a
not even
fact.
close.
It's
Like,
not.
right? Like, I mean,
And it's
I'm not
not
saying
for
she's
and it ain't force fed, bro. It's all natural, bro. Like
It's
it's
flattering.
it is she is
People want to
someone.
see her. People want to see her.
Yeah,
100%. To be that charismatic, that athletic, that dedicated, and that dang good at what you do, Bianca Belair is. You cannot make her up.
she is one of one, and I love Jade Cargill, and I think she's incredible too. But like, it's gonna take a little time to get to what Bianca has done, because I think
100%.
Bianca is in the level of like she's in that same stratosphere as like the Charlotte Flairs, the Becky Lynch's, the Trish Stratus's, like these people we talk about the GOAT. She's she's in that she's hanging out in that lounge with them right now. And she
Hmm.
may go up another level and room above them. Let time be. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I mean, think about this. If they did a WWE combine for the whole roster, we're all football fans here.
hmm
She'd dust everyone, including the men,
Yep.
as
yeah.
soon as they had to run.
Like, she was
As
she was
soon as they
like
had to run,
she had Otis on her. Come on, man.
I
Let's
j- and I
put
just watched and I just watched that clip again.
like, bro. And the thing is, this too, man. This is. I'm sorry, we're going off the topic for a second,
no,
but
it's all
this is
good.
what we do at on. This is what y'all get
This
with
is
these
off the air.
great off the air, right? She has had I think her and Bailey is arguably one of the most underrated feuds in women's wrestling history. Like I really think those two women had an incredible feud when booking was shitty in WWE. They
And
still
booking
made it
was
work.
I
It was
mean,
so booking was bad, but they had great like their Hell in a Cell match they had was so good. And then you talk about the BS with the Becky stuff. Her and Becky had a classic feud amongst each other too. You know, her and Sasha had like the
bro,
only person she hasn't touched that she's had a classic feud with yet is Charlotte because of
because
circumstances
the
with engagement and
universe
stuff.
think about
every time we get into any type of aspect where Charlotte and Bianca and I'm gonna lump Naomi in this too because I feel like whenever those two touch, the world cannot take it and somebody either has to get hurt and taken
Her,
away. It's like they don't want to give us greatness.
think about when they did the Bailey Bianca feud and they did the dunking thing around the ring. Like
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
they were never going to put that hoop on 10. They put it on 9 and she jammed.
Mm-hmm.
Jam.
The fact that Bailey was so not close when she tried to dunk in I'm telling you, if she
Salute to
tried to
Bailey.
jump, she's not jamming.
Mm-hmm.
And I love Bailey for that. That's fine. But it
I
was
bet,
just the difference in
ba-
athleticism was
and I
obvious.
tell you this: Bailey, Becky, and I'm sure Mercedes will tell you that they'll be like, "Yo, she's the real deal." Like it's 100%.
Yeah.
Um, it's
Okay. Your
well
moment of the
advertised.
night, though, Shad, really quickly because we do have to go home before 60 minutes.
For sure, for sure. My moment of the night, I'm gonna throw it to a topic that wasn't talked about, and it's gonna talk about loyalty, because loyalty is the most important thing, in the entire world. You know, shout outs to Hollow the Don, LOM, loyalty over money. And as someone who's not snitching, I'm gonna give it to Ren Sinclair having her match with Carly Bright tonight. I absolutely love everything about the Ren Sinclair and No Quarter Catch crew dynamic. Her, visibly seeing them do something that we can't talk about and kind of using it as blackmail, and her really trying to join the crew, and which I think she'll potentially join the crew. I think it's fun. I like that they're giving her an opportunity to have a storyline and a bit of a character. Maddie Rogensky is really talented. We talked about it obviously on our Sunday spotlight. She was teaming with Missa Kate, but she's a very charismatic, fun character, and you're starting to see that implement to it as well. So her, getting a win and us kind of getting of a silver lining of what she's gonna do as a character in NXT is great. I like it. I like it a lot. I think the finish with Charlie Dempsey kind of helping her win and him being like, I really got to help this girl out so she don't snitch on me. It is dope. And I'm excited for everything Ren Sinclair. And Carly Bright also did her thing, athletically gifted. And Kendall Gray with that very, very nice suplex on Miles Bourne. I got to give her credit on that. Hopefully we get to see her wrestle soon too. But yeah, Ren
I love
Sinclair,
it, Shoddy. Monster shout out both Ren Sinclair and Missa Kate.
for sure.
100%. I love where you said it. The juxtaposition between Charlie Dempsey being like, dang it, I got to do this. But he's kind of cheating like his dad. He's being a little bit William Regal-ish, doing the like, I got to do this, but he doesn't. He's reluctant in
He
a way.
he's doing he's
That
doing he's doing great work, man. And I remember I spotlighted it was it 2 weeks ago? Um
Yeah.
he's doing great work, bro. Like he's really his daddy's son, and I think he's the forbidden door. He's
He's
wrestled
the
at
original.
GCW.
He's
He's
the
totally.
original
wrestling at
Forbidden Door. Yeah.
Yes.
He's wrestling at Bloodsport coming up. He wrestled at All Japan. He wrestled at TNA. He's doing his thing, man. So salute to him.
Hmm.
100%. And before we finally leave, my moment of the night. I don't know. Actually, it should have been obvious. I kind of lied earlier and I had picked it. So we have all I hope you go away, Ethan Page, um, getting pinned unofficially for the second time by Ora Mensa. And I just can't wait till someone pins this guy officially. I'm so sick of Diet Scott Hall. I've had enough of him. I don't think he's that good. I've never thought he was good. I don't think he matters in any of this stuff. I think Sean Spears is doing better work and they're basically the same guy. I don't really understand him. Outside of the fact that he has a pretty razor's edge, not my thing. So Ora Mensa over all ego. Ethan, I hope we can turn the page after this is my moment of the week. And yeah, with that, I do think that's about gonna bring us to the end of the show, unless you guys have anything to add about all I hope we turn the page.
Um, I think your hate is a little unwarranted at times. He has a page and he's turned the page from AEW to NXT, and us
That's a Joe
as
Cocker song. Be careful, we got trademarks.
as NXT off the air, we welcome you, Ethan Page, to the opportunity to, just let us review what you do as champion. It hasn't been very fun, but it's okay. It's still early in the process, and as a Philly fan, I trust the process here. So, best of luck to you. Even though I'm a Wizards fan, but it's all good.
Absolutely. Okay. I mean, Driz, you got anything to defend? All ego?
I don't have to defend him.
Okay. Well, that does bring us to the end of the show finally. Thank you, everybody that tuned in. We sincerely appreciate it. Thumbs up, like, and subscribe if you can. On behalf of me, Clark Taylor, Shoddy, Driz, always, every Tuesday night, every day on the daily. We love y'all. Thank you so much. Have an excellent Tuesday. We'll talk to everybody soon.